What is up, you fellow One Piece fans? This is One Mag, the best fucking podcast.
Known by your mom, your grandmas, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers.
Shit, even your girlfriend probably listens to this podcast.
She does.
But whatever. We're reviewing episode 5. Episode 5 of One Piece, man. This man thinks he's a fucking jokester. And this episode, pretty good episode, man.
It definitely was. Okay, so at the start of the episode, we see the orange hair thief. And it's basically where we last left off. She's still on the map. And then Luffy comes into play. And then she tricks basically the three Buggy the Clown's henchmen.
Pirates.
Henchmen, pirates, whatever.
And so they start, like, first you can make a runaway, right? And so this is basically for a distraction for them to fight Luffy instead of her. And this dude knocks off Luffy's straw hat.
Basically,
and Luffy just... And we see Nami, she like appears on top of a building kind of watching the fight go down. And the dude knocks off the straw hat, right? And Luffy just socks his fucking ass, bro. And, dude, when will these people learn? Don't fuck with the straw hat, man. Especially now that we know the backstory, why this man's so protective over this hat.
Indeed.
So, and then... the time you boys all been fucking waiting for. We finally learned the orange haired bandit's fucking name. And y'all probably know it. Cause I know Tomakis' lazy ass didn't take it out the other episode. But her name is Nami.
Well, I didn't edit it yet. But now I will.
Well, I knew you weren't anyway. You were gonna fucking forget about it. And then, like, so they're talking or whatever. And Nami asks Luffy if he wants to, like, team up, basically.
Yes.
And Luffy's like, fuck that shit.
Fuck
I'm
that
gonna
shit.
look
I'm
for some
going.
fucking food. Like, just walking away. And then Nami basically says, oh, I can find you some food.
Oh,
and that
bet?
fucking gets Luffy's fucking attention. Because we all know Luffy is a fucking fat ass. A fucking fat ass. Like, this man just eats so fucking much. I mean, I guess when you're a badass like Luffy, you fucking... And then he's like a fucking stick, too. Like, he's not big or whatever.
But anyway, we go to Buggy's, I guess, hideout or headquarters. And we see that someone made a mistake of making fun of his nose. So Buggy decides to, I guess, use his devil fruit powers and just hold him in a choke, like choking him. Thought he was gonna do the choke slam, but anyway, and then he like, after I think the pirate like apologizes, he lets him go. In the manga, no, Buggy takes him into the sky, and then they were like, fire the Buggy bomb, boom, he explodes.
Damn, that's tough. I realize the manga's very much more brutal than the fucking anime.
Oh, yeah.
Which I guess that makes sense. Some many mangas are like that. And then we cut back to Nami.
We learned something also in the manga.
What?
Why Buggy is terrorizing this town. The reason why Buggy is terrorizing this town is because some children made fun of his nose.
So I guess this is the town he grew up in? Or like he was...
No, he just came here to like...
So that's why he's running the people up.
Yeah.
So. And then we cut back to Nami and Luffy. And he's eating the food or whatever. And then Nami starts getting to talking. And we learn that she's...
trying to reach 100 million berries.
Which I guess berries is like dollars or wherever country you're from, the type of currency.
It's a currency in One Piece. And then, like, she doesn't tell Luffy why, but in the manga, we learn that she's trying to pay off, like, buy a certain village.
Why do you think she's trying to buy up this village?
maybe berries can grow on trees.
I don't know.
But to me, if a berry would be growing on trees, wouldn't it be like infinity since you got infinite money?
I don't know.
Who cares?
Who gives a fuck about her? And then we go, what's it?
We also learned that she's a navigator.
Yeah, we learned that she's a navigator, which completely debunks your fucking theory of her having a fucking devil fruit power.
Would have been nice. Would have been nice.
I mean, I don't know. And that would be like we were talking about last episode. That'd be a pretty fucking whack ass shit. And this is when
Luffy
asks that if like he's like, oh, I've been looking for a navigator. Join my crew.
And then she's like, no,
Nami's
because
like,
she despises pirates.
Yeah, she despises pirates. And so that, and then she kind of looks out the window and she's like, well, you know what? If you do a favor for me,
I think about it.
So this favor is she wraps up fucking Luffy in a fucking rope and got him like basically walking like a dog. Like she's just basically like walking like you would walk a dog on a leash.
Okay, in the manga, she doesn't do that. She goes with him, untied and everything. She doesn't tell him that she was gonna tie him up. She basically sneaks up behind him and ties.
Oh, so there's no agreement in the manga about
no agreement. They just agree to go meet Buggy.
So they like she got him and she's walking to Buggy, and they get to Buggy and she's like, here's your map back, and
she wants to join Buggy.
She wants to join Buggy's crew.
In the manga, when Nami turns in Luffy, we see that Luffy says, whenever Nami betrays Luffy, he decides that he doesn't want her as his navigator.
So, and then Buggy's like kind of down with the thing. Like, okay, she gave me back my map. She's turning in her own captain, basically, to me. And so he's like, all right, bet, you're going to join the crew. And Nami makes the remark in her mind, like, oh my god, pirates are so fucking dumb. Which is fucking, like, she's just being a fucking dick. I mean, technically they're fucking dumb. Luffy just let her tie him up and whatever.
Yeah, so...
And then they put Luffy in this cage. And so you said the Buggy Bomb was already introduced in the manga. See, this is where we learn about the Buggy Bomb.
Yeah, I know. I watched it.
Well, I know. Like, I'm just telling the audience. I'm not telling fucking you. Who gives a fuck about Tamika's gaming? He's just a fucking co-host, man. You gotta see, we trying to make him a fucking host, man. And
yeah, trying.
Hey, he's gonna get it eventually, man. Because by the episode 100, you're gonna see Tamika's hosting a fucking episode.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, you better. You should be ready by episode 30, man. When we introduce your boy, you better be ready to fucking...
Oh, yeah. My boy.
You better be fucking ready. And so, like, this is when we're introduced to the Buggy Bomb. And fucking Buggy just lights it and fucking blows apart, like, a whole street.
A whole row of buildings. Okay, I know, like... Did someone beep?
No. What are you talking about?
Okay, never mind. You know how they're partying and they do that loyalty testing with Nami?
Basically, he basically like they're throwing a party. Well, you jumping way too far ahead.
But they're just throwing a party.
Buggy's like, oh, to commemorate her joining the crew, because you're missing a whole different part of the manga right here.
Commemorate to the crew. Yeah, the manga doesn't go that deep. They just throw a party, commemorate.
Well, and then we get like a little scene of fucking Luffy reaching for the meat. And in the manga, you said what happens?
Nami gives Luffy I'm not gonna say gives Luffy some meat because that sounds wrong. Basically, a loaf of meat. How about that?
A loaf of meat. It's a loaf of bread. A piece of meat.
No, that even sounds more dirty.
Fucking mad.
Give them some food, okay?
Yeah, this is Animag, bro.
And that's when Buggy catches on, like, sees that happening, and she's like, oh, so you still have a connection to him. So why don't we blow him up?
Well, see, in the anime, like, he's just like, since you hate Luffy so much, why don't you shoot a buggy bomb at him?
I don't think Buggy doesn't know about Luffy.
Well, no, he doesn't.
He just says, oh, your old boss. That's how he mentions Luffy.
Yeah, he's like, since you're boss, but I'm just saying Luffy because everybody knows his name.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes it easier for us. And so they put the fucking cannon in position, they load up the cannon, and they're loading up the cannon or whatever, and they're like, okay, Nami, blow your fucking old boss away. And you can tell Nami hesitates.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Luffy makes a remark about this.
I want to say so. I forgot what... Because I know we put that in the freaking notes. No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Luffy makes a remark to Nami. Like, just do it.
Oh, in the anime, that's why. Because, you know how he gets the Buggy Bomb treatment?
Yeah.
That's because whenever, when Buggy mentions that he will conquer the Grand Line with his Buggy Ball and Devil Fruit powers, Luffy interrupts him saying that it is his dream to become king of the pirates. And that's when the Buggy thing starts.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that's when they mention the whole thing about the, like, shooting Luffy.
Oh, and whenever Luffy sees Nami like shake, this is what Luffy says. That's what happens when you take on pirate half-ass, and that you have to be willing to risk your own life.
And so they, like, and I think when they hand her the match or whatever, I don't know if this is in her mind or whatever. Cause, like, she's like, they could tell she's hesitating, and they're getting antsy, basically. And one of, no, she doesn't say this in her mind. One of the pirates from Buggy, like, fucking takes, like, the thing, and she just whacks the fuck out of him.
Yeah, that's whenever he went to light it.
Yeah, whenever he went to light it with, like, a staff. And Nami's basically like, no, I will not blow him away. I would never swoop down the level of you pirates. Basically, like, you pirates are fucking bitches. Why are you, like, trying to just blow people up and shit when they have no defense? And...
Well, pirates play dirty.
Well, yeah, of course, but she's basically saying, like, okay, whatever. And this pisses Buggy off because now he realizes that Nami's not joining his crew, basically. And so, like, pirates charge at Nami, going to hit Nami. And this is when your fucking boy, fucking Zoro, just pops out of nowhere and saves.
Well, the pirates charge at her, and then she uses a pole to the fin, and then she quickly runs and does the candle thing. And then while they were about to attack, that's when Zoro, yes, I remember correctly. I remember this scene correctly. That's whenever she's doing the fuse, and then Zoro pops up and slices or attacks them.
Okay, and then Zoro easily beats the minions, right?
Yeah, and then Chop. Oh, I'm thinking of. Sorry, I'm thinking of. You'll see later on. It's on this episode, but this is when Buggy is like, oh, so because he knows who Zoro is.
Yeah, because he knows. He says, "Oh, the Devil Hunter Zoro or whatever."
Oh, the pirate hunter. And then Zoro's just like, I'm not interested in you. And then that's when Buggy's like, but I'm interested in you.
Yeah, no, because Buggy's like basically like, the pirate hunter Zoro has came to collect my head.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm not interested in you. And this is where Buggy, like, they encounter and they're about to fight. And Zoro fucking just slices this dude up. And fucking Zoro puts up his swords. Everybody thinks he's defeated. Because everybody's like, well, he was fucking weak. And shit like that. And then Buggy's pirates start laughing. And they're like, ha 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 ha. And then we learn that he has ate the fruit, the devil fruit, the chop fruit.
Yeah, that's what I was about to. That's what I almost called Buggy, chop.
And so we learned that he ate the chop fruit, which is basically makes him immortal to the sword.
Or if you want to say either the chop fruit or the Bara no Mi fruit,
which is the Japanese name for it.
Yeah.
And so and he talks about it or whatever, like.
I think he's Wait, you
well,
talked about
no,
what?
I'm talking about like what his power was.
Oh.
So like, if a sword cuts him, like it literally just chops his hand off.
Yeah, only punches probably work.
Yeah, or maybe guns. Because he did say something about he's invincible to the thing. But while they were laughing, he stabs Zoro in around the kidney area. Which he's bleeding and shit. And like Luffy's like, fuck. Look, basically gives the fucking look of.
In the manga, he gets stabbed too at the same spot. But like after he gets stabbed, he's like, I should have known. Like he was a devil fruit user. I shouldn't have underestimated him.
Yeah, and then fucking after this remark, Luffy's just like,
Zoro.
No, he don't even say that. I'm not talking about that.
No,
I'm talking about when he's like, you're fucking weird. You're fucking chop man. And it fucking just points like a blue arrow to him with like words underneath says, rubber man. So basically saying like, you're saying he's fucking weird. You're a fucking rubber man.
Oh, your favorite part.
What?
Stab him behind his back. It's a cowardly move, you big nose.
Yeah, and then you fucking just basically tell them what Tommy has just said. And then
Buggy throws like one of his knives, but Luffy catches it, and then he like breaks it and says, you know what, Buggy? Once I get out of this cage, I'm gonna kick your ass.
So he's like, oh, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass as soon as we fucking get out of this. And then what happens next?
Luffy tells Zoro to get up, and just basically looks at him. Zoro knows what he needs to do, which makes Buggy go after Zoro, attacking him. So Zoro attacks through him. Well, Zoro attacks through him, which Buggy is like, that has no effect on me. I have a chop fruit. But we all know Zoro's plan wasn't Buggy. It was just to get to the cannon so he could go on the other side and flip it.
Yeah, for they could flip the cannon and Nami lights the fuse. All you hear is boom, and then fucking outro.
And then outro. I think there was something different in the manga for this one. Yeah. It's basically a little bit, but like Luffy tells Zoro to run away, which Zoro knows what he means. Basically, what he just did.
So, man, as you can see, we weren't very prepared for this episode.
Yeah, like...
I mean, dude, this episode just didn't stick with me. I mean, the main key points, but I'm talking about, like, the little... We have to go back, check our notes and everything.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
But I think we did do, like, what? It's been a long time since we watched...
I watched this shit fucking... almost 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so...
And now we're gonna start watching it day by day.
Yeah, day by day.
And so, what did you actually think about this episode?
It was alright. Like, I loved it. I liked Luffy's character. I definitely. I like Buggy the Clown. Just hopefully he doesn't get knocked out in one punch. Oh, unless this is gonna be One Punch Luffy.
One Punch Luffy. I mean, One Punch would be One Punch.
This is the prequel before Saitama.
Saitama.
Saitama wanted to be Luffy back in his day.
So, I mean, this episode was decent. I mean, it wasn't a fucking great episode.
It wasn't a great episode.
It wasn't great. I don't think it deserves. It definitely doesn't deserve a 10.
Not a 9.
Not a 9.
Not even an 8.
So what you giving this episode? You giving it a 7? I'm giving it a 7, me.
I was giving it a 7 because I absolutely loved it.
You actually loved it. If you actually loved it, you would have gave it a 10, right?
No,
you absolutely loved it.
No. I just loved
what
comedy in this episode.
I mean, it wasn't a terrible episode. I mean, don't deserve anything lower than a 7. I mean, we could have got a little bit more info, a little bit more action, whatever. But I mean, it's the beginning of episode. I mean,
it's
anime.
the beginning of the season.
Like,
he just had
on
2
episode
fights.
5. Like,
if he would fight every fucking pirate after every episode, it'd be basically Dragon Ball Z.
So, we gave this episode a 7.
Yeah, 7. Sounds good enough.
So, man, but you want to give them any words of advice?
Oh, yeah. Helpful advice? You want some helpful advice? You want some helpful advice?
I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Use code Animag at checkout when you purchase Alti for 10% off. It's going to make you into a great person. Or whatever the fuck.
You want to be like Straw Hat Luffy?
You want to be like Straw Hat Luffy? It's going to probably be yelling in the mic.
Yeah, it's going to be loud as fuck. And Tama gets fucked up the camera by shooting that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. And peace out. See you on episode 6.
Sayonara.
Oh, that episode was mid. But, I mean...